5 teams to watch, Northern League Division 2. Yes, hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. This is the first of this year's 5 teams to watch series as we count down towards the start of the 2025 to 2026 season. And in this video we're looking at Northern League Division 2 and we're going to gradually work our way up towards the National League North with these. So we'll start in Northern League Division 2, then go into Division 1, Northern Premier League East Division and so on. So without further ado, let's get into this. And when I do these videos, it is important to remember that these are not in any way, shape or form prediction videos or anything like that. It is just 5 teams and possibly 5 different reasons altogether why these are just my pick of clubs that you maybe ought to keep an eye on in certain leagues throughout the course of the season. And in number 5 for Northern League Division 2, I've gone for Park View. Now, you may be watching this video and thinking, who are Park View? Well, basically, it is Chester Street United under a new name. Now, it's always a very interesting concept with this club. That is a little bit off the beaten track compared to some of the other clubs throughout non-league in the sense that it is all about developing younger players and getting them some vital experience at senior level. I think it is. I think probably why they tend to do quite well in the FA Youth Cup, quite notably, is because they do opt for like the side that play in the FA Youth Cup is basically the side that plays in the league as well, and they had a promising season last year. They only just missed out in the playoff semi-final on penalties against Jarrow, but looking to go again this year to kick on a little bit, and back at the Riverside Pavilion as well. Of course, last season we're playing at the Ford Hub, so good to see them playing back at the Riverside Pavilion, and in my personal opinion that is the better of the 2 groundsmen. And a lot of people don't like the running track and that kind of thing, but I think in terms of establishing an identity, it is a Chester Street club, so good to see them back in Chester Street itself, and that is why I've put them in this list at number 5. At number 4, I've gone for Grangetown Boys Club. Now, this is a club that maybe breathing a bit of a sigh of relief on the back of the FA's decisions as to who to promote and who to relegate, etc. At the end of last season, they did, strictly speaking, finish second bottom last year, but were spared relegation by the ongoing ground issues at Bedlington Terriers, so maybe not the way that they would have wanted to have stayed up, but it is what it is, and ultimately it's not really their fault what's going on at Bedlington Terriers, but they'll want to make sure that they're not in that kind of position again. And I think maybe now that they've had a year to kind of get used to the step up into the Northern League and that kind of thing, I think you might possibly see them kick on this season. I think it is going to be an interesting one to look out for. Can they take their rubber to green and try and kind of kick on from it, or will they or will it be a case of that they might struggle once again? We don't know at this point, but I think over the course of this season it is definitely maybe something to look out for. Will it kick on, or are they going to struggle again? At number 3, I've gone for Northern League newbies Durham United. Now, essentially the university football club for Durham University, and we have seen them a few times on this channel in the Wayside League, and it goes without saying it. They're always pretty relentless whenever they went on the attack and that kind of thing. It'll be interesting to see if they do implement that kind of style into the Northern League. Of course, it is going to be a bit of a step up from the Wearside League, but can a team of mainly students adapt to that? I think what you often do find with these university sides is that they do often have some very good players, and or maybe around the times when it's like Christmas and that kind of thing, the form might tail off a little bit, like due to player availability naturally. But I think with Durham United, they do always do seem to have some very decent players among the ranks, and it will be an interesting concept to see just how they adapt to playing in the Northern League. So yeah, I've got to say I'm looking forward to watching Durham United this season and seeing where they end up, and as we said, will they be as fluid and as relentless going forward, or will they maybe adapt to what will be a bit more of a challenge on the defensive side? We'll obviously find out in due course. At number 2, it is last season's league runners-up and in the end playoff semi-finalists. It is Yaman Eagles, Cliff. Now, their league season obviously got off to a really disappointing end. Only just missed out on the league title, then were well beaten in that playoff semi-final against Thornaby, but did manage to win the Ernest Armstrong Memorial Cup. But I mean, despite that, obviously natural level of disappointment that they will have felt in the playoffs, it was a good year for them, and they'll maybe be looking at it this year and like thinking like we could genuinely make that push on and go on better, and not even need those playoffs in the end. And I think I think they've got a very good setup there. So I'm interested to see how they bounce back this year, and I think they will in a way bounce back. I think they'll be right up there yet again. So just obviously over time we'll find out if they can reach the same heights of last year and possibly even go on better as well. And at number 1, I've gone for Redcar Town, who are really going to town on their recruitment drive this year. And I've got to say, some of the players that they have got over the line are really quite impressive, and I think they're really going to kick on this year. Like, you look at some of the players that have signed, were at Mask last season. Did all right in the end in the league for Mask. Obviously, they were at the start of their what was maybe kind of known as their beginning of the recovery year, but a lot of them have moved on to Redcar Town. So obviously being in Northern League Division 2, I think they're going to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems this coming season, and I'm excited to see how the new players are bedding in there. I think it is a little bit like Redcar Athletic, a club that have been maybe slowly but surely building, and maybe this is the time to kick on and aim towards the top end of the Northern League Division 2 table. But all in all, it's an exciting time for football in Redcar, isn't it? So you've got on one side of town, you've got Redcar Athletic, who've just been promoted into the Northern Premier League, and on the other side of it, of course, you've got Redcar Town, who are maybe now starting to make a bit of a push up the league themselves. So that is my top 5 teams to watch in Northern League Division 2. And I'll be back on Saturday with my top 5 teams to watch in Northern League Division 1. So who will they be? Check back on Saturday to find out. But until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.